Hello, hello! Welcome to Speak Unstoppable. This is your calm space to learn English through real conversations. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. Just being here is enough. I'm Maria.
And I'm John. Hi. We're really happy you're here today. Thank you for pressing play. Even starting the episode is already a tiny, important step.
Before we dive in, we just want to say, your stories, your comments, your quiet moments with us, they mean so much. Some of you listen while cooking, some while walking, some late at night. And knowing that we share those little moments makes this space feel alive.
Exactly. English is not just words. It's moments, feelings, connection. And every time you show up here, it's like we're walking together, step by step.
And today, we're talking about something many of us feel quietly, almost secretly, the feeling that we are late, that life is moving faster than we are.
Have you ever looked at someone's life online and thought, wow, I am behind. Everyone else seems ahead. Weddings, new jobs, new houses, achievements everywhere. And you're still figuring out small things, maybe even just trying to fold your fitted sheet correctly.
Yes, and the chest tightens a little. That thought, did I miss something? Am I too late for my own life?
If you've ever felt that way, about love, work, English, or yourself, today's conversation is for you.
Because here's the truth. You're not late. Life isn't a race, even if it sometimes feels like one.
There's this invisible social clock in our heads. By this age, I should have this. By that age, I should have that. And suddenly, English becomes another thing on that long list. I should speak fluently by now. I should sound confident already.
But whose clock is that? And why do we trust it so much?
We compare our behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. You see their house, their smile, their perfect photo, and your brain whispers, I'm late.
But remember, the grass isn't always greener. The filters, the edits, the brief snapshots, they hide struggles, loneliness, stress, even failure. Life looks shiny, but sometimes it's heavy behind the scenes.
Sometimes it's not late at all. Maybe you're just stuck. Same routines, same apps, same thoughts, same doubts. There's a word for that. Stagnant.
Stagnant. Not broken, not failed, just not moving. Water that doesn't flow eventually feels heavy, dull, maybe even smells. Life can feel like that sometimes.
But stagnant water can start moving again, and your life can too. You don't have to change everything at once. Even the tiniest movement is enough to say, I am alive. I am trying. I am moving.
A walk in the evening, a new class, one English sentence a day, writing one thought. Tiny doors open. You're not a pond, you're a river. You flow.
And sometimes, the feeling of being late comes from old dreams. Dreams we made when we were 16, 20, or 25. By 25, I'll do this. By 30, I'll do that. And now, maybe you're 28, 35, or 42, and life looks different.
When old dreams don't match who you are now, it doesn't mean failure. It means misalignment. Like shoes you loved as a teenager. They don't fit today. You can't force them without pain.
We've all felt it. Career expectations, love, learning English, personal goals. Sometimes the old plan just doesn't fit the current self. And that's okay. Updating the plan is allowed.
Another thing that adds pressure is chapter comparison. We compare our current season with someone else's season 5, like watching a show and judging episode 1 against episode 10.
You wouldn't do that to a story, so don't do it to yourself. Each chapter matters. Each step matters. You're exactly where your chapter is supposed to be.
Even heavy chapters, bills, family stress, health issues, quiet sadness, are valid. You're not failing. Sometimes keeping your head above water is all you can do, and that counts.
Survival is a victory. Showing up is enough. Tiny movements count as progress.
And one more secret: life doesn't stay the same. Seasons change, people move, jobs shift, new ideas appear. Even if it feels frozen, change is inevitable.
So a reset isn't an explosion. It's a gentle shift. 1 degree today, one tomorrow. Over time, you're in a completely new place.
And some days, nothing happens. You don't have to judge that. Some days are simply for holding on. Tiny steps, one after another, quietly build your path.
So, if you're feeling late, stuck, or stagnant, remember, you're not broken. You're in your chapter. You're allowed to update the plan, to move slowly, to start over gently.
And if you want, start thinking about one tiny step you could take today. Maybe one sentence in your notebook, one short walk, one message to someone. That's already a start.
Even 1% counts. And that's exactly what we'll walk through together in the next parts of our conversation.
All right, let's keep going. So, we talked about feeling late and stagnant, but now let's explore the tiny steps that really matter. Sometimes people think starting over means changing everything at once, but that's not how life works.
Exactly. You don't need to quit your job, move to another city, or start a completely new language in 1 week. Even the smallest actions, micro actions, can create change.
Micro actions are tiny, almost invisible steps. One English sentence a day, one short walk after work, one message to reconnect with someone you've lost touch with. These small actions tell your brain, we are moving, we are alive.
And the magic is, these tiny steps pile up. Slowly, quietly, almost without noticing, your whole day changes. It's like water carving a canyon. Tiny, patient movements create something strong and lasting.
Let's take a moment to think about the fear that often blocks us: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. And yet, even moving 1% forward is proof that we're braver than we think.
Exactly. You don't have to see the full path. You just need to see the next step. And some days, that step is just getting out of bed, having breakfast, or replying to one email. That counts.
And this is where English fits in perfectly. You don't need perfect grammar or flawless pronunciation. Saying one sentence, repeating one phrase, listening to one podcast, these tiny, consistent actions build confidence.
It reminds me of when I started learning English seriously. I would only repeat one sentence every day, and at first it felt so small, almost meaningless. But after weeks, that one sentence led to a paragraph. One paragraph led to conversations, and eventually it felt natural.
Yes, and here's the secret. The feeling of progress is often invisible at first, but it's happening. Every single micro action builds the foundation for something bigger.
And when you feel like giving up, remember, it's normal. Some days will feel heavy. Some days you'll feel stagnant again. That's not failure. That's life being patient, asking you to show up again.
Exactly. And bouncing back is part of starting over. Bounce back like a ball. Fall, but come up again. Miss a day of practice? That's okay. Do it tomorrow. One small step counts more than inaction.
And here's another thing that often surprises people. Comparison is a trap. We see someone fluent, confident, with a perfect career or life, and we think we're behind. But they've walked different paths, faced unseen struggles, had their own stagnant moments.
Exactly. And the grass isn't always greener. What looks shiny outside may have challenges behind the scenes. Focus on your river, your flow, your micro actions. That's where real growth happens.
And speaking of growth, change doesn't require massive courage. It requires consistency. One small decision, repeated over days, weeks, months, That's how habits form. That's how confidence builds.
And let's talk about old dreams again. Maybe the career you thought you'd have at 25 doesn't exist now. Maybe the relationship you expected isn't here. It's okay. Misalignment doesn't mean failure. It means you're allowed to rewrite your story.
Yes, and rewriting doesn't have to be dramatic. It's not about burning everything down. It's about subtle shifts, 1 degree at a time. One new habit, one sentence, one thought, one conversation.
And you know what? That's more sustainable than big explosions. Big changes burn out fast. Small, patient movements, they last. That's how you turn stagnant water into a flowing river.
And in the process, your confidence grows. You realize, I can do this. I am moving forward. I am learning. Tiny steps, but huge impact over time.
So take a moment. What's one micro action you could start today? Even just one sentence in English, one small walk, or one kind word to yourself. That's your start over.
Even 1% counts. That's how rivers begin. One drop, one ripple, one flow. And we'll explore more examples and ways to do this in the next conversation.
Now, let's pause for a moment and reflect on where we are. We've been talking about feeling late, feeling stuck, and that quiet fear that sometimes takes over. Fear of not being where we want to be. But what if you feel overwhelmed? What if taking that first step feels so much harder than it should?
It's okay to feel that way. Sometimes it feels like the smallest thing is the biggest mountain in front of us. You want to change, but it feels like there's just too much standing in your way. But the key is knowing that even the tiniest step forward is still progress.
Yes, and what I want you to remember is, no step is too small. It doesn't matter how tiny your action is today, it all counts. Whether it's speaking one sentence in English, eating a healthy meal, or giving yourself a moment of peace in your busy day. That's enough. Every small step adds up.
Exactly. If you think about it, we've all started with something small. Do you remember when you first learned how to walk? No one took their first step and ran a marathon immediately. It's those little moments of standing up, of trying again, that get you closer to your goal.
And sometimes we expect instant results. We want to see progress right away. It's like we think that once we start something, it should happen all at once. But that's not how growth works. Growth is like planting a seed. You water it every day, and you wait. And one day, you wake up and realize it's a tree. But you don't notice the small growth as it happens. It's the same with English, with your goals, with your life. The magic is happening in the small, steady moments.
And that's okay. The tree doesn't ask to grow all at once, right? It takes time, patience, and consistency. Your life, your goals, your English, they're all the same. And when you realize that, it becomes easier to let go of the pressure.
Exactly. And in the meantime, don't compare your tree to someone else's. They might be ahead, but they have their own roots, their own story. And you can't rush your own growth. So, focus on what you can control, the next step, the next moment. Take it one action at a time. It might feel like you're moving slowly, but you are moving, and that's what matters.
I think one of the hardest things is when we see someone else succeeding in something we're struggling with. Whether it's learning English, achieving career goals, or finding the right relationship, we see them doing so well and we think, why can't I be like them? But the truth is, everyone's path is different. And sometimes their path looks easy because they've already walked it.
That's right. And that's the thing about comparison. It steals your peace. It makes you feel like you're falling behind, but you're not. Your journey is yours, and it's perfect just the way it is. There's no timeline you need to follow except your own.
And you know what else? It's okay to pause. You don't always have to be running towards something. Sometimes life asks you to just be still for a moment, to catch your breath. We feel so pressured to constantly move, but there's value in stillness too. In those quiet moments, we reconnect with ourselves and our purpose.
Yes, exactly. Don't feel like you need to be doing something all the time. Sometimes a pause is just what you need to realign, to reflect, and to remember that you're enough exactly as you are.
You don't have to do everything. The pressure to be perfect, to have it all together, let go of that. Life doesn't need to be a perfect race. It's okay to take a moment, breathe, and then take that next step forward when you're ready.
Yes, and let's talk about feeling like we're running out of time. How often do we feel like we've missed our chance? Whether it's with English, career, or relationships, it's so easy to think, I'm too late. But here's what I want you to understand. Time is not running out. Life is not a race.
You don't need to be in the same place at the same time as everyone else. Every day is a fresh opportunity, a new beginning, and you can start over anytime, no matter where you are. Starting over doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be as simple as taking that first step. And you're allowed to take that step at your own pace.
Exactly. Every day is a fresh start. You can decide today that you're going to take that tiny step forward, no matter how small it is. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. Just keep moving. That's how you make progress.
Yes, tiny steps, tiny actions. That's the key to success. It's the quiet, consistent effort that leads to the most powerful change. It's easy to get discouraged, but remember, you're already doing more than you think.
And when you feel like giving up, just remember, every time you show up, every time you try again, you're proving to yourself that you care. You're telling yourself, I'm still here and I'm still trying. That's a huge victory.
And that's enough. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. And you'll see, slowly but surely, you're getting closer to where you want to be. Keep showing up. Keep taking those small steps. They add up.
So, take a moment now. What's one tiny step you can take today? One word in English, one walk around the block, one moment of kindness to yourself. That's your next step.
Exactly. And we'll be here every step of the way. So, take it one step at a time. You've got this. We believe in you.
Now, here we are at the final part of our conversation. But really, it's just another beginning. Each part of this journey builds on the next. And today, we're going to wrap things up with a simple truth. You are exactly where you need to be. The steps you've taken have brought you to this moment, and this is exactly where you are meant to be, right now.
Yes, you are where you need to be. It's easy to feel like we're behind, that we're not catching up, or that we should be doing more. But remember, there's no right timeline for life. Your pace is perfect for you, and your journey is unique. Don't get caught up in comparison. You're moving at the speed that's right for your growth.
Exactly. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Their life, their achievements, their timeline, it's theirs. Yours is different. And that's okay. In fact, that's wonderful. The path you're on is yours alone, and that's what makes it so special.
We've all been there, right? Looking at someone else's success and thinking, why am I not there yet? But here's the thing. You don't need to be where they are. You're on your path, taking your own steps. There's no rush. The world may seem to be moving fast, but you don't have to chase it. Just walk at your own pace, and you'll get there.
Exactly. And you know, the best part about your path is that you get to define it. No one else can decide your destination. It's all yours. There's freedom in that, in choosing your own direction, no matter how small or big your steps are. You're allowed to create your own timeline, and that's incredibly powerful.
And sometimes the smallest step feels like the biggest victory. Do you ever stop and think, wow, I did that? It could be something so simple, but those little victories are what keep you going. They remind you that you're on the right track. It's the small wins that matter the most.
Yes, each step counts, and each victory, no matter how small, is a sign that you're growing. It's easy to forget that, but today, right now, let's take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Think about where you were last year, last month, even last week. Look at your progress. You're doing amazing, and it's important to recognize that.
That's so important. What's ahead that we forget to appreciate where we are? It's okay to celebrate the little things because they add up. They create momentum. You're already making progress. Your journey has been one step after another, and each step has led you here to this moment.
Now, let's talk about something else. Starting over doesn't always mean reinventing your whole life. Sometimes it's about finding new ways to look at things, new perspectives. It's not about a huge, dramatic change, but about finding small, meaningful shifts that make you feel more aligned with your goals. These small shifts are often the most powerful, and they lead to great change.
Yeah, sometimes we think we need a massive life overhaul to make a difference, but small changes can have a huge impact. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to decide to take that first step. And when you do, you'll realize that even the smallest changes create ripples. One small step at a time, and you're already on the path to something bigger.
And don't be afraid to be gentle with yourself. Life is not a race, and there's no need to rush. You're allowed to move at your own pace. You're allowed to take your time. It's okay to have days when you don't feel like taking giant leaps. In fact, that's the beauty of it. Every day doesn't need to be a sprint. Sometimes it's about just being.
Exactly. And here's the secret. Moving at your own pace doesn't mean you're not moving. You're still growing. Even when it feels slow, even when it feels like you're stuck, you're still making progress.
And those quiet moments, the ones that feel still, are often the times when the most growth is happening. And guess what? You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to know every step of the journey. Just trust that the next step will show itself when the time is right. You've got this. You don't need to figure out everything at once. The journey will unfold as it should.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not about the end goal. It's about enjoying the journey. And even when the journey feels tough, you are still moving forward. The important thing is that you keep going. Every step you take gets you closer to where you want to be.
So, before we wrap up today's episode, I want you to take one moment, one deep breath, and just appreciate where you are. You've made it this far, and that's something to be proud of. You've been working on yourself, you've been taking steps, and that's enough. That's progress.
Exactly. So, what's your next step? You've already taken one by listening to this episode, and now it's time to take the next one. No pressure, no rush, just a tiny step forward. And that's enough. You've got everything you need.
And remember, it's never too late to start over. Whether it's with your English, your life, your dreams, whatever it is, you can always begin again. And we'll be here cheering you on every step of the way. We believe in you.
That's right, one step at a time. You've got this. And we're with you every single step.